the most powerful designer drugs are the digital ones we use daily. And we get high off them. When touch, tap, like, scroll at a time. Just like tech creators want us to. Use digital without digital using you. Learn more at sync.ithra.com.
We acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and culture. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to This Song Is Yours, a music podcast where we chat to a new guest each week, talk about their lives and creative endeavours, and talk to them about some of the music they love. Our show works by chatting to our guests about music, their songwriting techniques, and occasionally getting them to make you a playlist of the songs they love. Welcome to episode 156. I'm your host, Simon Fink. Our guest today is Charlie Collins. The old country singer-songwriter is releasing her second studio record today, entitled Undone. In today's episode, we're speaking with Charlie about her pouring her heart into this new record, touring with Gang of Youths, and why humans like sad songs. Here we go. Our guest today is an incredible singer-songwriter from Tamworth in New South Wales, Australia. After making her start in music with groups like Chasing Bailey and Tiger Town, she branched out with her own solo music in 2019 with the debut record Snowpine. Today, she follows it up with her sophomore record, entitled Undone. Please welcome to This Song Is Yours, Charlie Collins. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. I'm actually awake, which is incredible. So I'm off to a good start.
Always a positive start. Always a positive start.
When you wake up for the interview, it's killing it already.
You before we started recording, you just mentioned that it is 8 a.m. where you are in London.
Yeah.
And it looks quite sunny for the UK.
It is. It's actually a beautiful sunny day in London, which is so rare. Of course, it's like getting sunny as I'm getting closer to leaving, which is about right. Probably just getting me used to that Aussie weather, It's like breaking me
exactly
into what I'm about to receive.
Exactly, like transitioning weather, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. It's good.
You have been over in the UK for a little bit now, playing some shows with the lovely lads from Gang of Youths. How's that been going?
It's honestly been so amazing. I can't even put words to it. The venues that I had the opportunity to play were venues that I couldn't even dream of playing, so to just come here on a whim and then get to do these shows has been honestly just a dream. It feels like a dream. I'm going to wake up and it'll be like, that didn't happen.
Is this your first time with your solo stuff playing shows in the UK? Yeah,
it is. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. And it's the first time as well that I've really done a tour just on my own with just me and my guitar, which is also scary. But it's really nice to know that I can do it. It was like a little pat on the back to myself.
Of course. Well, I think having a listen to your previous record and the brand new record, which we're about to talk about, I can imagine that it mostly translates well to like both a full band kind of setup and a singer-songwriter solo setup.
Yeah, look, the way I write my songs mostly is always just me and a guitar. So at least I know that I can, if I do it like how I did with Gangs, it's going to work because that's how they were written. So that is a nice bonus, I guess, of being a singer-songwriter, that you can do both ways,
Of course. Well, I think that it always shows like the good foundations for a good song if you can have it played both like acoustic or solo and with a full band. It means that you're doing it right.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something I always really stick by. If a song sounds great acoustic, then it must be an okay song. You can do it both ways, you know. You can take away all the fancy things and strip it back, and it's just still at the end of the day like a really important song or an okay song. I don't want to talk myself up, so I'm going to say okay song.
Don't you dare! No.
Don't you
shut
your mouth.
I will never say that because I'll probably never be asked to interview artists again if I say that. But
you seem too nice to even say those words.
Thank you. Charlie, the reason why we are talking today is I know that we're talking now while you're in the UK. You will be back in Australia by the time this comes out, but there is a second record. Undone is the second record from yourself. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a long time coming, but it's nice. It's like a big weight off my shoulders, I guess.
Of course. It's I was having a quick look today. I think it was 2018 was the last record, or 19?
Yeah. The Snowpine, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a while between drinks.
Yes. I just needed some extra heartbreak, you know. I was too happy, so I couldn't write a record.
That's very fair.
So fucked up.
I guess I wasn't going to address it straight away, but you have mentioned it, so I might take my opportunity.
Yeah.
From what I heard was that you did have a stockpile of songs that you'd kind of written for the record and then ditched those and started again after a bit of a heartbreak or a difficult time.
Yeah. It was one of those things I did. I finished the record like over a year ago, and I was, you know, at least I really loved what I'd made, but it was just that thing in the back of my head. I think it was just like, I feel like I have so much more to say, and it's not, it's just not heart-wrenching enough. It's not sad enough, pretty much. And then I just got some extra heartbreak in there, so that really helped the cause. It was really nice, especially for my team as well, to really back me in that situation, you know, because imagine going to your label and everyone and just saying, hey, so we finished this record and I want to change half of it, more than half of it, you know. So to have everyone's support too on a daunting decision that I made was really, really amazing.
Yeah, of course. I can imagine it's not a decision that's kind of taken lightly, or that you even kind of approach with not having thought it through 1,000 times, I imagine.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It was scary, but I'm so glad that I stuck to my guns, and, you know, I also got some incredible collaborations with doing that, you know, with some of my favorite people in Australia. So yeah, I feel like I made the right decision in the end, as scary as it was.
Of course. Well, I think that has paid off. It is a beautiful record, beautiful record.
Thank you.
I think that my favorite track is Are You Even Listening, which is about midway through the record.
Yes.
Which you co-produced as well, to my understanding.
It was, so that was a song I wrote with Gab Strum, Japanese wallpaper, who I love dearly as an artist and just as a person in general, and my friend Demi Louise, who was an incredible songwriter. And we were all in Sydney and we're like, we should write a song together. So we did. It came out really, really quick, and it was actually like, this song was definitely at the time not going to be in the album. It was just kind of writing for fun. And then when we finished, it was like everyone listened to it, they're like, this needs to be on the record. And I think it literally got in like 10 minutes before mastering. Like everything was like so just like, come on, let's go. And then I kind of put some extra guitars. We kept everything from the demo, the vocals and everything. And then I worked with another friend, George, who mixed it, and we kind of just built the track even more together, which was really fun as well, to kind of manhandle the song. That's probably the wrong word to use now that I say that. But that's really bad. But no, so that was, I'm so glad that song made it, and it was so fun just to kind of, I don't know, take hold of that song and make it really my own.
Moving forward, I'm going to refer to producing as manhandling the song, and see how it plays out. No, I loved it. I think that's incredible.
Yeah, that one will play out for you.
Actually, true. Might not work as well for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it might. And if it doesn't, you did not hear it from me. Though this is a podcast, because everyone's going to hear. So, shit.
I know that you. I think there were some other tracks as well that you might have had a hand in producing, like November, and a few others like that. Is this the first time you've kind of taken that step back? And I won't use the phrasing anymore, but taken that step back and produced.
Yeah, definitely. I think this record too, I really wanted to be super hands-on with it. Why do I keep using weird words? But now every word sounds bad. But I just wanted to be super involved in how everything went and the production, and so it was really nice to I don't know, it just made me personally feel like, more like an artist, to really just have full control of what I was doing, which sounds silly because you always should as an artist, but sometimes it just doesn't work like that. So yeah, it was a nice accomplishment as well.
Of course, I can imagine it's always kind of nice to, regardless of what you're doing, continuing to kind of grow and add feathers to your hat, if you will.
Exactly. That's a really nice term. And I pictured it, and I pictured my hat with all these feathers, and it was just pretty much giant peacock feathers, just so you know where my head's are.
It was only the reason why I went with the hat analogy is just because the very impressive hat that you're wearing today, it kind of gave me that vibe. And so that's
a little mushroom hat. It's just honestly just to hide my bed hair, because I just jumped out of bed. I woke up like this.
Again, very much appreciated that you did jump up and that you are awake, as you said this morning.
Oh my God, it's 8 o'clock. It's just a normal time that people wake up. It's just, not for me, but here we are. You're well worth it.
No, each to their own. Everyone works differently. When you are approaching a record like this, and I know we just kind of touched on it, obviously sometimes happy songs don't make for the best songs. It is those sadder songs, the more emotional songs that kind of resonate with people and have that connection. And it's some kind of it's beautiful because we get some of the best music, but it's also some weird depressing thing within humans that's what we connect with. That's for another time.
Yeah. I feel like that's later.
When you're approaching writing these, and when you're sitting down and kind of allowing this as like a form of therapy almost, how do you find that balance between kind of, allowing these emotions to come out and all, but also not, giving away every single thought of your inner workings?
Look, to be honest, I actually don't think about it, because I actually think when it comes to writing, I never hold back. But yeah, I guess at the time, because music is literally my form of therapy. So when I write, I literally just say every single thought I am thinking, which again is scary for people to know my head. But yeah, I never have any restraint when I'm writing. I always just want to be completely honest. And I guess it's a nice way too for people to get to know you on that side, because everyone always sees like the happy side. But when I'm on stage, it's always like revealing the inner sadder side and darker side to myself. And I like being true, because it's also a nice thing, for people to relate, so you don't feel so alone when you're in that sadness. So I do, honesty is always my biggest policy with writing.
With I know you mentioned before Gab Strum, Japanese Wallpaper, who you co-wrote with, and I think that there was also Jared James and Xavier Dunn.
Yes.
Is that the same when you're co-writing as well? Is there any kind of
maybe there is probably a little bit, I guess, because also when you're co-writing, being mindful that not everyone wants to get dragged in the session into your pit of sadness. So I do probably hold back a little bit purely so I don't think I'm such a crazy bitch. But in saying that, so have you done, that one was just, that wasn't necessarily a sad song. That was just literally writing about the craziest side of myself. So that was really fun to kind of write a song like that, because I've never written anything like that before.
And the song that you're referring to is Backstreet's
Back. Yeah, Backstreet's Back. Backstreet.
We're talking about the 90s hit that you wrote, Everybody, parentheses, Backstreet's Back.
Yeah. Remember that one? No, Backseat Valentine. Oh, that's great.
Sorry about that. Backseat Valentine is the track that you're referring to.
Yes. Yeah, I am. Yeah. So we got into the session and he saw me play. I played live a couple of weeks before it, and he was like, I watched you live, and it's so beautiful how vulnerable you are, but also knowing you, because he's a really good friend, he's like, you're also you love a party and you love being a bit crazy and doing random shit and spontaneous wild things. And so he's like, let's tap into maybe that side that you've never tapped into before. So that we wrote that song in literally an hour or something. It was just let's go. It was really, really fun.
The track definitely stands out. It is the single that is currently out now. But It does kind of stand out. Even sonically, it's almost like indie-esque, a bit of indie rock kind of going on behind you.
Yeah. It was, so Zave, pretty much, he played everything in that track, literally everything. And I love him as a writer and a producer, but I also love him as a musician and an artist as well. So I really wanted to incorporate his kind of style into the song. I think it worked really perfectly. I couldn't have imagined the song any other way.
This season, Instacart has your back to school. As in, they've got your back to school lunch favorites like snack packs and fresh fruit. And they've got your back to school supplies like backpacks, binders, and pencils. And they've got your back when your kid casually tells you they have a huge school project due tomorrow. Let's face it, we were all that kid. So first, call your parents to say I'm sorry, and then download the Instacart app to get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes all school year long. Get a $0 delivery fee with your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 in order. Additional terms apply.
At BlueNile.com, you can find endless ways to make your moments sparkle. From classic and timeless jewelry gifts to creating the custom engagement ring of her dreams. All at prices you won't find at a traditional jeweler. And right now, you can save up to 40% on fine jewelry and 25% on engagement ring settings during the Blue Nile Anniversary Sale going on now. Go to BlueNile.com to shop the Blue Nile Anniversary Sale and save up to 40%. That's BlueNile.com.
Of course, it is a incredible track, and I feel that this record kind of builds from the first and kind of is another kind of expansion of sound. It's not like you've completely changed, but is it?
Yeah.
I guess when you approached and when you were looking at it, was that an intentional thing or just something that kind of organically happened as you were kind of creating the songs?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't intentional. I think it was just a really an organic growth and, shift in me as a writer and an artist, and just kind of, being more also comfortable. I never overthink anything when it comes to writing. It's purely just by feel. And so I think, in coming back to what you were saying, I think it was definitely just an organic kind of shift, and I think it still does tie in, but it's just a progression from the last record. The last record was so raw, and everything was played live, and the songs were even at the listening back, like I could sense that I was holding back in a lot of ways. And so this record, I really just wanted to be completely honest and like you said, letting everyone know every little thought in my head.
Again, I think the album is all the much better for it, if I've said that correctly. But it is a great. That's okay. Do you find that you have the ability to write on the road, as we've discussed? You're currently in the UK. Do you ever find that you're someone who can, sit in the hotel room or wherever it is and create there?
You know what? Like when I first came to London, which was like early December, I was like, yeah, I'm going to, I went through a breakup and I'm like, I'm going to come to London. I'm just going to write. And I've literally written one song since I've been here. But I think it's also because, I'll come back to your question. This is kind of relating, but I think it was just I had so much that I needed to unpack. And I remember talking to Dave from Gangs, and I was just like, I can't write. Like, and I really, this was the point of my trip as well, to write a bunch of songs. And he was like, honestly, he's like, I've been there. He's like, you just need to take time for yourself. You've gone through something traumatic. Stop trying to put pressure on yourself to like straight away, like blurt it out. He's like, you need to go live, and you need to go live in that trauma and experience and travel. And then once your mind is a little bit at ease, and you'll be able to write. And so I did that, went on some nice holidays, and then, yeah, he was right. I wrote a song. But I've never been one to really write on the road. I don't know why. I think maybe it's because I'm focused on playing, and so my mind is in that zone, and it's in the zone of the pre-existing songs, that I'm going to play. So, I like to get into that zone. So, yeah, I haven't really written on the road from memory. I think this is the first time, but I've had a lot of time here to, deal with everything.
Of course. I can very much respect that. With I guess just touching on what you just said about Dave, is there much of I imagine that there is, but for yourself personally, in your experience, is there like a good kind of Aussie music community over there in London who you're able to kind of reach out to, work with, get support from?
There's been, well, obviously Gangs has been nice, just to see all them boys, because they're just, dear friends. We grew up with each other. So it's been really nice just to have that company and that friendship, and being able to tour with them. It's just so fun, because my first solo tour was with Gangs in Australia. So it was nice to do this. And then there's been like Aussies in and out. Greta Ray was here, and we had some little sleepovers and some fun times. I actually gave her COVID, which I feel really bad about. She's probably like, that bitch. But it was nice to hang out with her. And I feel like Aussies are always kind of in and out, So I've got another friend coming like next week, and I feel like they're kind of just, in and out. But as opposed to other people, Aussies, it's only really Gangs that I know here. But I've made some incredible friends already. I think London, the music scene is really, really popping off, and everyone's really friendly, and, it's nice. It's nice to feel welcomed here,
Yeah, of course. I did see somewhere on social media, I think, the Greta Ray incident, but we won't delve into that too much.
Yeah, we made COVID pasta. I was like, well, you have COVID, you might as well just come stay with us. And she was like, yeah, okay. So we all just had COVID together and watched movies and made pasta from scratch, and it was so lovely.
That, if you're going to deal with COVID, I feel like that is one of the most wholesome and lovely ways to kind of do so.
You know what? It really was, and it was nice to not do it alone, because my brother and his wife also had COVID, who I was staying with, and Greta, and my partner. And so we all literally just hung out and had COVID together. It was a COVID cesspool. We all went down together and it was fun sometimes.
So far, this interview has given so many different headlines that we could use for this. It has been fantastic. Great.
Like I said, I can't hold back.
No, I look, there are no complaints from myself. I'm sure the powers that be will let us know if there are any issues with anything that's said today. As mentioned, you are in the UK, but you are coming home soon. You are back in Australia in end of April, start of May, for a tour for your album, the one that we're talking about. How are you feeling about those shows?
I'm so excited. Yeah, I come back next week, and I pretty much the week after that I'm playing like a festival, and then go straight into the shows. And I'm so excited to play all these songs live. Also, a little bit scared to even know if I can get through some of the songs on the record all the way, singing it live. But I'm just excited to play with a band and share my music, this new music, with Australia, my home. So that's it's really exciting.
Of course, I think you're also playing Splendor this year, which is very exciting as well.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited. I went like a few years ago, and just being there, I was like, man, it would be such a dream to play here. And so to be playing is literally dreams coming true.
Is there anyone? I'm just trying to remember who's on the lineup. Is there anyone at the moment on the lineup who's your must see? Maybe 2 or 3 acts.
I am really looking forward to seeing Casey Musgraves. I think it's really cool. And Orville Peck, who is a really nice friend of mine. I supported him when he came to Australia, and we've kind of kept in touch ever since, and he's been really supportive and lovely. And so I'm really excited to see him plus catch up. And, who else is playing? I can't even remember. I honestly just saw Casey Musgraves and Orville Peck, and it made me so excited that there were country artists on an indie festival, I think that's like kind of the first time it's happened. And even the stage I'm doing is like an Americana stage with Andy Gollidge and a bunch of Americana artists, which I think it just shows that, the music scene is really opening up its doors and welcoming all genres, I think, because hip-hop and R&B and, obviously indie and rock and everything plays a lot of these festivals, but to have country artists also being welcomed in, it makes me so excited. I think it's a big shift too.
100%. I think I feel like even in the last 2 or 3 years, it's like country is no longer a dirty word in a way. Some, you won't see Brooks and Dunn at Splendor anytime soon, but it seems to be more acceptable now.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it is that because also I feel like there are a lot of artists that are changing the game for country music as well. An artist like Orville Peck and Casey Musgraves, they're kind of, I don't know, they're shifting people's thoughts, and it's like, oh, country music can be cool. Even someone like Orville Peck, who literally dresses head to toe in Western gear and is so country, but I don't know. I think it's people they gravitated towards that look, and people loved it, and they're accepting, and it's not just country fans, which is awesome, And for so long it was I feel like country and indie festivals and all those festivals were so separated. There was a separate festival for country and separate one for everything else. And so to combine that, I think is really nice, and it's important, I think, too, to feel accepted as an artist in a festival like that.
100%. I think the last few years there's been talk about representation in a number of different facets. I think, in terms of lineups we don't have enough females playing, we don't have enough people of color playing, we don't have enough of these, and not to trivialize those to country music, but I think it's the same. You want to be able to see genres that reflect you and if that kind of makes sense. I don't know if I've kind of just pissed off a number of people with that comment.
No. I like it's nice to have country artists and people of color, so you don't feel like such a dick in the wind. Like it's nice to have fellow people. I feel really lucky that I am a female, that I am a woman of color, and country is a genre that I definitely tap into. So to have the opportunity again to play Splendor, being all those three, I feel very lucky and privileged, but also that should just be the way, as well.
100%. I think it's, I think that's the other thing as well, is that bookers and event people, I know they have a proper title, I just can't think of what it is right now, but the people who are booking these festivals, people, that I think they're coming to realise as well that people don't want to see 27 bands of 4 white guys playing guitars all the time.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that also, but it is nice to have a bit of diversity.
Exactly. Sorry, nothing wrong with it, but maybe 21 instead of 27 guys. Come on.
Exactly. Just cut a couple down.
Charlie, usually we would ask our guests what they're currently listening to, if there's anything at the moment on your record player or streaming service that's kind of taken your fancy.
Yeah. Look, on my record player, my go-to is when I'm cleaning the house or just at home, I listen to I literally have this 4-record pack of Patsy Cline. And that is my go-to record. That and Nebraska by Bruce Springsteen are just, I don't know, it's like my happy place. And when I go home, I just put it on. It's just like, it's just like it's like my meditation music in a sense. But as far as being here, I've really, really been loving Holly Humberstone. I think she's a really incredible songwriter, and I really, I love her. I love her writing and her voice, and she's definitely been an artist I've been like tapping into here.
All 3 very solid choices. I was going to comment on Patsy Cline and Springsteen because they are also very dear to my heart, but also as you mentioned, Holly Humberstone also joining you at Splendor.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. That's my third that I'm excited to see. I can't wait to see her live. Question for me.
All fantastic choices. Charlie, thank you again for your time. Thank you for getting up so early.
Oh my God,
I think you just made a show last night.
Yeah, it was it last night or the night before? Yes.
I still appreciate it, regardless of gig or not. I'm very appreciative of your time.
Thank you. I am appreciative of you having me on your show. So it's a mutual appreciation.
Congratulations again on Undone, and thank you again.
Thank you.
And that's our show. A massive thank you to Charlie Collins for her time. Undone is out now, and we've left links in the show notes if you'd like to buy the record or catch her on tour. We also want to give a huge shout out to Maree at Island Records Australia for helping out with today's interview. If you like this show, please subscribe wherever you get your pods and stay up to date when new episodes are released. We release new shows each Wednesday and Friday morning, and we now have a Patreon, which you can find within the show notes of this episode. You can follow the player's profile on Spotify, and you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Until next week, cheers.
This podcast is brought to you by eHarmony, the dating app to find someone you can be yourself with. Why doesn't eHarmony allow copy and paste in first messages? Because you are unique, and your conversations should reflect that. eHarmony wants you to find someone who will get you. How are you going to know who gets you? If people send you the same generic conversation starters, they message everyone else. Conversations that actually help you get to know each other. Imagine that. Get who gets you on eHarmony. Sign up today.